Hi, it's Emily from Art from the Heart, and today I'm on the Evelin T Designs blog with a Chinese New Year card I made by combining 3 stamp sets. Chinese New Year cards should feature lots of red and gold, so that's exactly what I did. Saturday, January 25th is the year of the rat. I'm a rat, my husband is a rat, and my son is also a rat, so it'll be a big year for us. This wintry stamp set called Good Tidings to You has 2 adorable mice carrying presents. I want 3 mice on my card, so I'm going to stamp 2 of the one on the left with the eyes closed and 1 of the one on the right with the eyes open. From the Halloween set called All Hallows Cuteness, I'm going to use the mushroom stamps to complete the scene, so it looks like the mice are walking through the woods with their New Year's gifts. Mushrooms are usually eaten in a New Year's dish to symbolize happy events and good fortune. From All is Calm, I'll use the clean and simple sentiment that reads, From our home to yours. I wanted to add peace, love, joy above that, but it ended up being too crowded for my design, so I left it off. The first thing I'm going to do is create masks for all the images by stamping them on masking paper and trimming them out. After determining stamping order and positions, I use more masking tape to mask off the areas where I'll be sponging the background. Using my Misty stamping tool and a centering ruler, I place the first mouse and start stamping all the images from the inside outward. After stamping the smaller mushrooms, I decide that I want to stamp the larger group of mushrooms on the edges of the panel. I place the mask for the smaller mushroom and stamp the group of mushrooms off the edge on both sides. I thought I would have to make a second mask for the group of mushrooms, but lucky for me, each stamped image was less than 50% of the image, so I was able to cut the one mask I had in half and use it to protect both stamped images. I just wish I had trimmed off the bottom properly. I wasn't sure how I was going to use the grass portion in the scene, which is why I left it on, but as I was creating the background it was quite obvious that I should have trimmed it off completely. For the background, I start with Shabby Shedder's Distress ink and add Forest Moss. As I suspected, the masks did start peeling up since the coverage for areas like the tiny feet and tails was quite delicate. I had to keep pushing the masks back down, and even then I would get sponged ink onto the images themselves in those areas. As I sponge the forest moss, you'll also see me going in with scissors and trying to trim off the areas of the mask where the grass should be. For the red sky, I start with Barn Door, then switch from the round foam blenders to life-changing brushes since I want to go across the middle section and the masks were starting to fall apart. The other 2 red inks are Fired Brick and Aged Mahogany. After I finish sponging the background, I remove the masks and I always love revealing all the images. It's so satisfying. I smoosh all the ink pads on my media mat and use a wet brush to wick away the color that was sponged onto the smaller areas the masks couldn't protect. I really wish I didn't do that because the water made the color bleed and pool around the edges of the image. Let's just say that next time I won't be doing that. I'm going to speed through the coloring process. As I said at the beginning, Chinese New Year cards should have lots of red and gold, so that's basically what I'm doing here. You can find a full list of the colors I used in the supply links below. After the coloring is done and the panel has dried, I'm ready to stamp the sentiment. I stamped it first in VersaFine Onyx Black pigment ink, and I wish I had left it like this because the gold embossing I added later makes it hard to read. I was avoiding having black words because the Chinese prefer gold words. Next time I will definitely leave it black because it's more important that it's legible than the fact that it's not gold. At least I think it is. I use gold tinsel embossing powder and set it with my heat tool. Then I decide that it's not sparkly enough, so I stamp it again with Versamark watermark ink and reset it with another layer of gold tinsel embossing powder. Perhaps this is where I went wrong, as opposed to not having left it in black ink. Anyway, no matter. It's what I did, and it's how my card ended up. I still love it, and the recipient will too, so that's what counts. To finish the card, I'm going to add a few embellishments, including a strip of patterned paper and a strip of gold glitter cardstock. Next, I adhere the panel to a linen card base. I wanted to add some gold star sequins across the top. I added 8 stars since 8 is a lucky number, even if it's a bit superstitious. Here's a look at the finished card. I love the bright colors of the sponged background and the way the mice look like they're walking through mossy woods to deliver their gifts. The gold glitter cardstock and sequins are so sparkly and balance the card nicely. Be sure to visit my blog for all the details, more photos, and a full supply list. Thanks so much for watching!